This is the Vermont Timberwolves, and this is the newest team I am adding to College Football 26. With Vermont being the only U.S. state without a D1 football team, I decided to add them to the game, and we're going to win them a national championship. Yo, what's up, boys? Welcome to the Vermont Timberwolves Dynasty, and I've spent so much time in Team Builder making this team. I'm so excited to finally use them. And looking at the right, our coach is going to be Steve Wisnowski. Probably butchered that name, but he is one of the only NFL players to come out of Vermont, and by far the best. He's a multiple-time All-Pro, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He was a very good offensive lineman for the Raiders. So he's going to be our coach here to make sense of the storyline and everything. And then coming into our first year, our schedule is going to look like this. And as you guys can see at the top, we are a 40 overall. So we are not good at all. So this first year is going to be very, very rough. But we started out at UMass. Then we go against Rutgers, 2 rivalry games off rip. And then we take on 23 Oklahoma. I'm going to switch them to at, because it doesn't make sense for them to come to us, right? So we're going to play at Oklahoma. Then we play FCS. This is probably going to be our only winnable game all season, because as you guys can see, we are a 40 overall. So it's going to be a very rough year one for us. So I'm not expecting too many wins this year. Then we have a bye, and we play our AAC games. As you guys can see at the top right, we are in the AAC. And the rest of the schedule doesn't look insanely hard. I don't think we're going to get a single win out of these. Maybe against UTSA, but that's the only other one I can see us winning besides for FCS. Maybe UMass. Best case scenario, we get 3 wins. I don't see any reality where we get any more than that. But I think 1 or 0 is probably the safe option. And this is what the roster is going to look like year one. I'm not going to go through every single name. I'm going to give you a basic gist of it. But starting year one's going to be Grant Orr, backed up by Joseph Bradley. And then we have a true freshman, Terry Blair, 59 overall, but he is an athlete. So hopefully we can develop his accuracy a little higher. Hopefully he can be somewhat decent next year. And as you guys can see, most of these guys are going to be seniors, just because after the first year, I want a brand new clean slate for this team. But every position has 1 or 2 people staying. So it's going to be very important that we recruit heavily going into next year so we don't have a bunch of walk-ons starting. And then going over to running back, we have Mel Castillo starting it out, and we have a true freshman, Barry Holmes, backed up by Ray Jordan. I'm probably going to redshirt him and our QB. And then coming into fullback, we have Corey Madden. He's one of the best players on our team as our fullback. I really want to heavily use the fullback in this rebuild. 84 speed, 81 excel. His stats aren't amazing. 89 lead block is very good. 80 trucking. He should be a stud for us. Coming into wide receiver, best one on our team, Jeff Moore at a 70. Then Antonio Benson at a 69. Phil Riggs at a 68. And then Landon Miller. And if you guys don't know, Braxton Miller is one of my favorite college players of all time. As you guys can see, I'm an OSU fan. Braxton Miller was so special, and Landon Miller's actually his son. His son's in real life like 12 years old, but just wanted to throw a reference in there. And as you guys can see, there's going to be a bunch of hidden references in this team. Hopefully you can pick them up. I'm not going to say them all. Hopefully you guys can figure them out in the comments. But Landon Miller, very flashy, just like his dad. 91 speed, 92 excel, 91 agility, 95 change of direction. Has silver shifty, silver sidestep. He should be a dog for us. And then we also have Rob Hyde and another true freshman, myself. Had to put myself in the game. Only a 53, so I probably won't ever see the field, if I'm being honest. But just wanted to throw myself in the game. And at tight end, we have Taylor Conway, Claude Anderson, and Ray Archer. Then true freshman, Tommy Frazier. And then going into left tackle, I'm not going to say every single name. But Jeffrey Childs and Wayne Bruce is our true freshman. Hopefully you guys can figure out what that reference is. It's a painfully obvious one. They're going over to left guard, Don Garza, Eric Paulding, Billy Golden. And at center we have Lonnie Baker, Keon Robertson, and Kent Clark. Again, another easy reference. Hope you guys pick that one up. And at right guard we have Martin Glass, Doug Barlow, Jermaine Houston, and then Kalen Franklin. Our right tackle, left edge. I'm just gonna stop saying them. You guys can look at the names if you would like. My voice is already hurting from saying them all, and not to mention that it's a lot of names. I don't need to say them all. But true freshman Daryl Monroe should be pretty decent for us. And that's Sam. All of these guys. And like I said before, most of these guys are leaving after this year, so we need to have a crazy recruiting class just to be able to have a roster for next year because of so many people leaving. And hopefully we can't. There's no deal breakers on most of our freshmen, so they shouldn't transfer out, hopefully. But one important storyline we need to cover is the Dokes brothers. Jackson Dokes at corner, 67, sophomore. The rest of the corners don't look crazy. But if we go over to free safety, the best player on our team by far, Jimmy Dokes, the brother of Jackson Dokes, 77 overall junior. He'll probably go to an 83, 84 next year. So he is by far the best player on our team. But we do only have him for this year and next year at most. And his brother Jackson is only a sophomore, so he should probably get around the 80 overall mark by the end of his career. So we do have a couple studs that we need to keep an eye on. And then coming into strong safety, not too much important here. And then kickers, they're average. They're average if I'm being honest. And coming into punter, Dan Kitts. This is based off my girlfriend. It's not her exact name, obviously, because I don't want you guys knowing her. But shout out to my girlfriend. She made me tell you guys, or else she was going to beat me. And this is what our coach is going to look like. I picked a motivator coach because once you get to level 10, it's very easy to unlock everything in the recruiter tree. But vice versa, it's really hard to unlock the motivator compared to recruiter. I hope you guys get that. Usually I do pick recruiter, but it's just so much easier to unlock recruiter than it is motivator. So we're going to start with motivator, and then it'll help our team develop and get better over time. So I feel like that's the more logical decision for a really bad team with all F grades. Just trying to get the team better so it's easier to recruit in later years if you guys pick up what I'm putting down. But the first points we're going to use, I feel like it has to be the quarterback, just to try and get... Actually, no, we're going to do our offensive line because it helps 5 people, right? So I feel like once we get those leveled up and everything, it'll only help the rest of our team. So that's where we're going to spend our first points. And coming into recruiting, there's a couple rules we need to keep in mind. And the first one is until we win a bowl game, we can only go after 3-star recruits and under. And as you guys can see from the schedule, we're only a 40 overall, and we have a pretty hard schedule. So we're probably not going to make it to a bowl game for at least the first 2 years. So we're probably going to be going after 3 stars and under for a while. So it's very important that we pick the right ones. As you guys can see, coming into week 1, we are playing UMass. And if you guys are wondering how recruiting's going, coming into week 1, we have 50 points in this gem left tackle, 50 points in this gem tight end, 25 into the corner, 25 receiver, 30 in the D tackle, 15 in the mic. And as you guys can see, we're starting to hurt from not having the recruiter tree. But honestly, I wasn't too worried about it because we can only go after 3 stars anyway. So it's not a big deal that we can't scout like perfectly right away, because after the season we can get coordinators with a recruiting tree. So this first year might be a struggle, but after that we'll be perfectly fine. And coming into the game, we have a 26 overall disadvantage. They have a 32 overall better defense than us. That is not good. That is really this is going to be a tough game. But I am excited to show you guys the jerseys. Looks pretty good to me. The logo on the top looks much better in game. I don't know why it looks like that in the previews. And these are our blackouts. Very cool. And these are our alternates. I'm not sure how I feel about these. These definitely are my least favorite, but we all bring them out every so often. And these are our home uniforms. I think they're pretty good. You guys can let me know in the comments, but I think I did a pretty good job at this. But time to take on our rivals, UMass. And I feel like we are going to have to stick with zone because we are not good enough for man at all. And we're going to start it off with a run, and we are right there, and we get the tackle at the line of scrimmage. And 3rd and inches, they're going to run it. And he reaches for it, and he fumbles. He reached for it, and he fumbles. We start out with a turnover. What a big play from us right there. The sophomore gets a play before his older brother does. So that's a great start. We're going to hand this off to Ray Jordan. And not much there. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to score anything more than a field goal this entire season. Because it's just, this team doesn't have a whole lot of pizzazz to us. And a bad throw right there. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 already. We're probably going to be held to a field goal here. Even though we're given great field position. But I don't think we're going to be able to capitalize off it at all. We're going to throw a slant right here. It's going to be a 4th and inches, I believe. 4th and 1. And it's telling us to go for it. And I think I have to agree here. But we're going to stick to the bread and butter here. We're going to go QB blast. I was going to do QB sneak, but I love QB blast. And we got it. Oh, we have a whole lot of room. We're going to slide at the 11. First down, Timberwolves. And we're going to do a halfback direct snap here after the pass game just hasn't been working. And hopefully Ray Jordan can get something here. And we don't get that many blocks. We're going to lower our shoulder. We're down at the 7. It's going to be a 3rd and 6. And we're going to try a bunch of drags here. Hopefully one of them can get open. And none of the audibles are working. Their stadium pulse is going crazy. And I throw it. He breaks a tackle, but we're going to be just short. It's having us take our field goal. And this one we have to agree again with coach. And honestly, it's a very awkward position. I am not very confident I'm going to make this. Field goal's up. And oh my goodness. I just doinked it in. That was very lucky. I hate those types of kicks. But we do make it. We doink it in. We have a 3-0 lead over the Minutemen. And hopefully we can force another turnover like we did there. And Juwan Price is in the backfield. It's going to be a RPO. And they don't get much there. And even though they do have a star running back, I do have a UMass playthrough with my friends. And I forget what his first name is, but his last name's Hood, and he is a dog. I won Heisman with him my first year from how good he is. And what a hit right there. I believe that's him right there, right? Number 26, I believe that's Hood. And yeah, there he is right there. He is a dog, let me tell you. If you ever have a UMass Dynasty, make sure you get him involved because he is very good. And the play action really got me there. And the QB's going to take off. He slides. It's going to be a 2nd and 6. After a series of pretty good plays, they're going to run it with Juwan Price. Nowhere to go. Only getting a yard right there. We're going to come out on a blitz. Hopefully we can get home on this one. And we're going to send Kane on a blitz. We're going to user him on the blitz. Absolutely nowhere. But the blitz gets home. Jerry Page with the sack. What a play from the senior. And we're forcing a punt. And I don't know if you guys forgot already, but they have an over 20 overall advantage on us. I have no idea how we're doing so good, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it. But the Timberwolves look very good so far. And we're going to come out in a halfback slip screen. Hopefully we can get something here. But we're getting worse next year. We have to keep that into account. Next year it's going to be all 3-star freshmen. And Ray Jordan has a pretty good gain right there because almost no one's staying on this team. The Dokes brothers are staying, but that's about it. Everyone else will be graduating. So we need to recruit very well. And there's not really anyone here. X is wide open, but he doesn't come down with it. And on 2nd down, we're going to come out in the mesh. And X is wide open. I probably should have hit RB, but I really didn't want to get sacked, so I just threw it right away. And we're coming out on 3rd and 4 with slants. Hopefully we can pick up the first down here. Continue this drive. And Grant Orr's going to take off. He's not the fastest in the world, but he can get the job done. What a rush right there. He's playing very well for like a 67 or whatever overall he is. And we're going to run the read option here on 1st down. I'm just going to hand it off. Ray Jordan has, oh my God, his change of direction is atrocious. That was the hardest cut I've ever seen, and that just did not work at all. And they're going to have that covered very well. So we're audible to this play here. We're going to try and snap the ball. There we go. And no one's open. Try and throw it to the running back. And on 3rd and 8, we're going to run a mesh play. When in doubt, mesh it out. And we are going to try and run it here. There's really no one open. I see Ray Jordan kind of open with some separation. It's just underthrown. Man, that could have been a touchdown pass if that was an accurate ball. But we're going to have to punt it here because I don't see anywhere where we pick up that 1st down. But he's going to take, just kidding, some play action. But we get home. I think that's Jerry Page again. No, it's Howard Brown, the right edge rusher. What a play from the senior. It's going to really suck losing these guys because there are some decent keys on this team that could really help us next year, but they're going to be graduating. And going, oh my God, he just burnt our best player, Jimmy Dokes. He's going to make the tackle, but oh my goodness, that was embarrassing. And after a decent run that picked up 3, they're going to go into play action. And man, these users are so slow, but thank God, I don't know what that tight end was doing. And Juwan Price with bruised ribs is going to come back out. He's got to be hurting. There's no way he's not. They're going to come out in the pass. And it's another sack. What a play. Jerry and Love, the D tackle, getting the sack this time. I don't know what our team's doing. I don't know how we're doing this good. And I don't know why. Oh, wait, that's 50. I thought I was wearing 90. And their field goal is up, and it is right down the middle. We're going to run a speed option first play of the drive. We're going to pitch this to Ray Jordan, who breaks a tackle, but only gets 3 yards there. Nothing special. And like I said before, when in doubt, mesh it out. We're going to try and run mesh here on third down. Tight end's open, but we almost miss him. And Anderson has some room, picks up the first down and a little more. We're going to go 4 verts here on first down. And the tight end has a little bit of room, and he just gets overthrown. Man, Grant Orr's having a decent game, but he is starting to not play that good at all. I guess it makes sense. We're going to hit the running back here. Gets hit as he threw, but he still delivers a dime to Mel Castillo, and I could have easily stayed in bounds right there for a couple more yards. But we do go out at the 7-yard line. Not too shabby. We could have got probably to the 5, but I don't think we would have scored on that. We're going to hand it off to Ray Jordan, who gets stopped instantly. Not great blocking by the O-line right there. But we're going to run mesh spot again. It's a different variation every time because I have the play cooldown and everything on where you can't run the same play over and over again. But we just have so many mesh plays in this playbook. A was wide open. I was already rolling out. And wow, what an inaccurate throw. We're going to have to go with our second field goal of the game. Hopefully we can knock this one down. We're going to line it up to where I think it will go in. And the true freshman going to make the kick, and I shanked it. Oh my goodness. That is completely my fault. I am still getting the angles of kicking down. Oh my goodness. And after the missed kick, I don't know why they have it at the 20. That's not where the ball was. But I guess they get it at the 20, and they have a huge gain, and that might just be a touchdown. No, but Jackson Dokes does catch up to him, and their QB already has 141 yards in the game. That just shows how bad we truly are. They do have over a 20 overall advantage, so it's not too surprising. But we do stop them here, only getting to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to come out in the hurry up with 1:31 left. I don't think they really need to do that yet, but I mean, whatever helps us succeed, because I don't think it's working too well. And if that wasn't a high ball, that might be a pick. But honestly, a great throw by the senior Grant Jordan right there. And we're going to try and press their people. We're running man, which is risky, but we're trying to blitz to try and throw them off a little bit. And they're going to run the ball, and it almost works. And they're going to call their first timeout. And we're going to keep pressing and just keeping them under us. Hopefully we can keep them out of the end zone just so we take at least a 3-point deficit going into half. Because going down by a touchdown would mean a lot more. And we do get home on the blitz. We're going to try and run we're going to try and run zone here. We got to stop them here. If we go down by a touchdown, that's a lot worse than by a field goal. And we do hold them. We're going to call our timeout. They're going to go up 3. We're going to have 30 seconds left before half to try and score again. And after a return that wasn't too good, we are at the 21-yard line with 26 seconds left. We do have 2 timeouts, but nothing's really open. What a bad throw. I tried to stop my feet, and we throw a pick 6 right before half. And I'm not going to lie, that was my fault, but I don't know why the ball went right perfectly to the defender. Like, I shouldn't have completed it, honestly, but it should not have been that bad. But now that we're down 10, this game is pretty much over because of how bad our team is. So we're going to have to score before half. They're pressing our left receiver. And there is the second pick 6. We're going to start the drive out with the read option. We're going to keep the game on the ground because our QB is very bad and we can't get anything to go through the air. And there's nothing. Either way, I'm losing yards there. So that's just great. I am starting to feel the frustrations of having a really bad team. It is really starting to show. And we're going to try and hit Ray Jordan on the under here. We do pick up a first down and a little more. Going to try and hit a spin move, but it doesn't work whatsoever. As you guys can see, very frustrating start so far to the season. We're trying to roll out right. We see why. He almost overthrows him again. but Phil Riggs has the reception, and it's going to be a Timberwolves first down. We're going to come out for verts once again, and we see Ray Jordan on below, and he does pick up another first down, so we are moving just a little bit. We just got to keep hitting these underneath routes if we want any chance of winning this game. We're going to come out in verticals once again. And what are we... the QB overthrows it once again. And I just don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do at this point. He overthrew it once again. That's back-to-back picks that were completely on the QB. So I think it's time that we just get a fresh one in. And our backup QB is going to be coming in next drive. And he is incredibly slow. He has like 70 speed, which I do not like in a quarterback. But his accuracies are infinitely better. So we're going to hope that can save it. And there's just no one there. And they're going to get a touchdown. And now that we're down 24, I can confidently say the game is over. There's nothing we can do to come back. We're going to try and run an RPO here. We do get a little bit of yards, but it's not going to matter because our QB threw so many picks. That were not my fault, by the way. He threw so many picks that I don't think we can come back. But we're going to try. I just do not have a lot of faith. We're going to try and hit the running back here. We do hit Castillo. We're going to try and cut up field. Nowhere really to go. We do pick up the first down and a little more. So hopefully we can just shave the lead. We're not going to win. But hopefully we can at least make it look a little better for ourselves. Because it's a rivalry game. So we can't let them blow us out of the water too much. We're going to try and run an RPO here. We're going to try and run it. Even though he only has like 60-something speed. And he does get 6 there. So I can't even be too mad about that from how slow this guy is. We're going to try and run a slip screen to Castillo here. I did not mean to press that button, and that's probably going to be a... Oh my god. We ran a halfback screen. I threw it to a receiver accidentally, but he comes down over 2 people. What a play by Phil Riggs. Oh my god, over 3 people. Is that Julian Edelman out there? Is that Julian Edelman out there? Are we serious? What a catch from the white boy. Okay. We're going to give it to Castillo. Mel Castillo has some room. Broken tackle. Where was this earlier in the game? And their defender goes down. But Mel Castillo's having a decent game so far. And we're going to try and run this play right here. We're going to try and keep it through the air. We see 3 wide open and he missed the ball once again. We are consistently having quarterback problems right now. And that's the only thing I can't wait till next year is to get a better QB. Or hopefully just have that freshman develop his accuracy and have him play. And just like that, another incompletion. It's going to be 3rd down. And after multiple incompletions, we haven't really got anything to work after that huge catch by Riggs right there. We're going to try and get something here. We're going to just try and loft it. And Phil Riggs can't catch it one-on-one, but he can catch it over multiple people. And we are down by far too much to take a field goal right here, so we're going to try and get a touchdown. Because that's the only way we win. We're not going to win. That's the only way it's even a possibility. And yeah, the pressure's too much. I hate this offensive line. I just want to get out of this game. After a half-decent play on first down, it's going to be a 2nd and 7. It's going to be an RPO, which isn't covered at all. And they're going to get it to a 3rd and 1. So if they get this first down, this game is probably over. If they don't, they punt. Maybe there's a chance we win, but I just don't really see it. We're going to try and bring the linebacker up, and the RPO works, but they go backwards. It's going to be a 4th and 2. We're going to get the ball back. Maybe something can happen. And after the very measly punt return, we're going to try and go through the air here. Not too confident in our abilities. We're going to hit X across the middle. We almost overthrew him again. And Jeff Moore has an 8-yard completion. His first catch of the day. We're going to run counter here on 2nd down. Hopefully we can get something here. Mel Castillo in the backfield. And there's nowhere to go whatsoever. Bottled up. We go forward a yard. Very luckily that we did, because that should have went backwards. But we're going to try and go back to Castillo here on 3rd down. Hopefully we can get 1 block. And we do barely get through line of scrimmage. We didn't get a single block. They broke through right away. But Mel Castillo did keep his legs moving for the first down. And this game isn't incredibly far out of reach. We're down 24. We do have some time left. And man, I cannot stand having 70 speed. There's nothing I can do against rushers. I'm just going to throw it immediately and hope someone grabs it. And speaking of that, we're going to try and hit the tight end right here. It's going to be a first down. We just got to keep throwing it instantly, or else we're going to continuously keep taking sacks. And it sucks for the first year. But this first year is going to be rough. Hopefully we can just get at least one win. Castillo tries to cut it back inside. Gets 4 there. Not the end of the road. I would run a speed option, but our QB's far too slow. So we're going to come out second down, doing play action. We've got to get a play off so we can keep as much time as we can. And Y should have been wide open. And honestly, 70 speed quarterback's going to take off. I don't know how he got that much room with the slow 70 speed, but we do get it to the 11-yard line. Looking at the stats, we do have better stats in a lot of the categories. It's literally just the interceptions that our QB threw that's keeping us from being in this ball game. If we didn't make those turnovers, this is very much a winnable game. Coming into the fourth quarter, we are down 24, but we are on the 11-yard line. So if we can score here, it is possible. We're going to try and get it into the end zone. We do get down to the 1. I probably should have slid, but I thought we could have made it in, so I just trucked forward. But thank God he did not fumble. We're going to try and hand this off to Castillo on 1st and goal. And we do just that and walk into the end zone. Mel Castillo's in the end zone, and we're hitting the Quan. There is not a very good odds that we do stop him. And the pressure is non-existent. And we are there for the stop. They're going to have to punt it back to us with 4 minutes left. We are back in this ball game. We got to be safe. We cannot keep committing turnovers. And the running back's open across the middle. And Mel Castillo has a first down on the angle route. Very good start to the drive. We're going to run mesh spot starting the drive. It's been very consistent for us. Been our bread and butter. And we're going to try and get something here. The tight end has some room. He has a lot of green grass ahead of him, but he's going to get stopped short. He hits a truck, breaks a tackle, touchdown, Timberwolves. What a play from the tight end right there. Oh my God, we are back in this ball game. But man, if he was not a senior, he could progress very well for us. But unfortunately, he's going to be gone after this year. They're going to go back to the ground, but that's swallowed up immediately, meeting them at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd and 5, and this is a very crucial stop. And on 3rd and 5, we're going to come out and cover 2. They could very easily run the ball. We need to get this stop or else it is going to be game over. And it's going to be a run. And it is going to be a first down, and that's going to be the ball game. And after, oh my God, I stopped commentating because I didn't think there was any chance we were going to win the game. But they fumble. We have the ball at the 42-yard line. What a play, and what an idiot to not cover the ball. But the odds aren't too crazy. We're still getting an onside kick, but this game should have been over. They weren't. I don't know why they were not being careful and just kneeling the ball out, which they very easily could. And what another great play from tight end. What a game this guy's having. If he played at every position, we would win in this game because he is playing absolutely out of his mind so far. And we're going to try and hit the running back here, but thankfully we got it out. And on 2nd and goal, we're going to try and keep it through the air here. We're going to hit him on the inside route. Phil Riggs has a touchdown. And to try and make it a 3-point ball game, we're going to go for 2 here. We're going to try this. We're going to adjust a bunch of routes. And he's into the end zone for the extra point. And this game is up to an onside kick. We're trying high kick it. I have no idea what the meta is, so this is not going to look very good. We got it! What's the flag? What is the flag? That had to have been past it. What? I didn't think that would have been illegal touching, but we were very close to getting that onside kick. That is just a bummer. And we only lose by 3. So for being a 20 overall disadvantage, only losing by 3 is a win in my book. But we are going to take a 1-point loss, or a 3-point loss to the Minutemen. Starting the season 0-1 was a little disappointing, but to only lose by 3 and being a 40 overall, I honestly take that as a win. And we still have the rest of the season to get a win, and this season is going to be a little disappointing. But next year we will turn it up. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, just leave a comment, leave a like, just let me know you enjoyed it so I can keep making these. And yeah, stay tuned for part 2, dropping sometime this week. Thank you guys for watching.